council to submit that to the voters. I mean, there are other ways where you could get community input. You could put the item on the water bills, try to get feedback from the citizens, things like that. But as far as an actual vote, it's the council that needs to adopt the annexation ordinance.
For the record, I have a petition presented here, a separate petition, and I'll read it. It's a petition of residents of the town of Annetta to request the town council of Annetta to accept and consider the petition of Deer Creek water customers to be annexed into the town of Annetta. To the mayor and governing body of the town of Annetta, Texas, we, the undersigned residents of the town of Annetta, do hereby request the mayor and the council of the town of Annetta to accept and consider the petition of Deer Creek water customers to become annexed into the town of Annetta. We, the residents of Annetta, believe the customers of the Deer Creek water system have the right and should be afforded the opportunity to become residents of the town of Annetta in order that they may participate in the governance of Annetta and have the opportunity to elect those officials who are charged with the management and operation of the water system and the direction this community takes. We all know that future development will take place. It cannot be stopped, but it can be controlled. We are all neighbors, and that development will affect their neighborhood and their property values as much as it affects ours. The petitioners believe the town and all of its residents should have a say in how that happens. It affects the quality of life for us all. And the numbers on the front indicate that we have 64 residents that have signed this petition urging the city to schedule the public hearings.
Hey Larry, you opened the meeting tonight basically saying we wanted to get input and we wanted to find out what the community wanted and how they felt. Isn't that what you're supposed to, isn't that what you accomplish in a public hearing, public hearings, public meetings? And that's why we have more than one.
As our attorney said, you can accomplish it several different ways. That's not just the only way.
Well,
once you open up this door,
here before us.
right, but once you open up, the difference, Chuck, is once you open this door, now you are on a timeline. You have to get it completed in a certain amount of time.
Right.
And if you don't have the information, you can vote no.
I was gonna say, we can have the 2 public hearings and then we can, we still have a vote. And if we don't feel like the information is there or convinced that that's really what we want to do, we can still vote yes or no.
At least it's justifiable then.
I'm just thinking the public meeting is opening the door for interaction between all of us.
Haven't we done that the last 2 council meetings?
Not by,
I think
not by
they're,
council
I think they're all
action.
here to have their say.
But not by council action.
But it's not been formalized.
The thing that we've noticed is the more we don't listen, the more they show up. I don't think this will go away.
I don't want it to go away.
I really don't
Let's keep voting no until we get 1,288 people here.
And then
we'll have the town here.
That will happen.
And I'm okay with it.
I'm afraid it will happen. Another thing that I want to address, and again, I want to be honest and fair. I want to know the facts. I wanted to know the facts on everything. I wanted to get public input, and I want to know what's real. And I think that's no different than anybody else, right? We want to know the information. How many miles of roads are we going to be taking in? What are the condition of the roads? What other factors are out there? I have said from the beginning, and I am the only person on this council now that was here when we purchased the Deer Creek water system. And the attitude at the time, the belief at the time, was that we were going to purchase the system, not just for the 247 people that are currently residents of Annetta that are served by that system, as we should have, but also to include the rest of those neighborhoods so that we could have one consistent community of people that all work towards the same goals. And one of those big goals is development will continue to come. And that development can come across the road from my house. If there's a sign up across the street right now, 146 acres, the majority of that is in the ETJ. This council stated many times, and even in comprehensive plan workshops, when we look at the maps, the problems we have are the ETJs. It's been consistent from the beginning. The problems we still have today are the ETJs. The chance to remedy that at this point is to correct what should have been done when those plats came in. They should have been brought into the city at that time. and then we wouldn't be here tonight trying to do all of this. And moving forward, and if you look, and I've been on the internet Googling everything I can about it, annexations and ETJs. I've been looking hard. It's hard to find where there are people that voluntarily want to come into a city, much less 500 signatures in as little as 2 weeks, and 64 signatures in a couple of days since this meeting was announced, all saying go through with the process, go through with the process, go through with the process. This process wouldn't have to be going through if, as those developments came about, they had been annexed in. You could have pushed your 2 acre minimum out as you went along, but you didn't. And you have higher density now. You have more traffic on the roads. These folks drive on Old Annetta Road. Is it my road? No, I live on it. But right now, they're contributing, no offense, to the detriment of the roads in Annetta, because they're major thoroughfares. They take my traffic and their traffic when they go to and from work or wherever they go shop. And by not bringing them into the city, and by foregoing the franchise fees that we've talked about in every financial workshop, that our general fund is short on money. How are we going to fix the roads? Why are we leaving money on the table? Why are we leaving money on the table from the people that are using the roads just to keep them out of the city? It makes no sense to me.
Sir, I think we're having a long discussion, and discussion is good, and we've had discussion, but we're doing it without a second. And I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it, is it, Mr. Attorney?
I don't even think we closed out of the public input. We never closed, the mayor never closed public input. So we didn't even get started on new business yet, technically.
I've gone through the petitions.
Is that correct or not?
Mr. Sheridan made a motion.
But don't you have to close public input?
He was out of order, so what I'll do is I'll open new business now. I'll stand corrected on that. I get criticized, you don't let the people talk, and then you don't follow rules, and it just depends on how people want it to go. And we talk about the hurry of this. You know, why does it have to happen so fast? My gosh, when you're getting ready to go out on a date with a pretty girl, you can't wait for it to happen. But when our mother-in-law moves in, you can't wait for her to go.
I was defending you.
Just trying to be fair.
I was defending you.
My in-laws, are they here? Okay, before I get in trouble with her. So I'll move on to new business. Earlier, your motion was out.
Right, excuse me, I'm sorry for being out of order. They have a resolution before us to set a date for a public hearing. I would like to make a motion that we set a date for a public hearing regarding this annexation.
Mr. Sheridan, I would ask you to amend your motion, and your motion would be to approve the resolution as presented on the agenda.
Appreciate the council's.
He's not
Make
counting.
the motion to approve the resolution for the item on the agenda.
I have a motion on the floor. I'll entertain a second. No surprises there. The motion will die for lack of a second. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. We have no further business on the agenda tonight. So we will, without further delay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We'll be adjourned.
I'd like to know who wrote the petition.